I just finished AstroBot last week, and it was a really good game. So a few years ago I played the Astro's Playroom, the demo, for the very first time, and I must say I was really impressed back then because of the DualSense features that were integrated into the game. And so when you compare that to the Xbox controller, the DualSense, especially for the price, so it's all about the same price as an Xbox controller, it has really a lot more features. So it's very impressive and really shines in AstroBot's Playroom, but also in the new AstroBot game. So it was a really fun game. So for me personally, my favorite PlayStation game is still Ratchet and Clank. But this game, if you play it when you just get your PlayStation 5, your controller will really shine in it. And so it's actually a bit of a platformer game, and AstroBot has now, or maybe for a longer time, has become a bit of a mascot of PlayStation. So when you look at the early 90s, the Nintendo and the Sega both had their mascots. Sega had Sonic, Nintendo still has Mario, and when the PlayStation 1 came out, we were all expecting that it would also get its own mascot, and that will be Crash Bandicoot. But they never officially announced that Crash Bandicoot is the mascot of PlayStation. But now with AstroBot it comes really close because they're actually featuring the DualSense controller, and the game revolves around a PlayStation console that is flying around in space and then gets attacked by an alien, and it crashes into a planet, and then you have to scour the entire solar system and find other planets where you can find the other bots, and also parts from the PlayStation 5 so you can reassemble the PlayStation. So it's a really fun game, and they introduce a lot of new power-ups, I think 8 or 9 power-ups, and they're really fun to use. So personally I think that the power-ups are well made. Excuse me. But it misses a little bit of depth in certain levels. So you move from level to level on each, or from planet to planet, and each planet has a specific power-up that you can use or reuse, but it's not like you come into a specific solar system or part of a solar system and you have to dig into a new power-up until you master it completely before you can move on. So there's a lot of variety, and that's actually a lot of fun. The only real downside of this game for me personally is the fact that you have to have a minimum amount of saved bots before you can proceed to the next level or to the next part of the solar system. And the consequence of that is that you have to keep an eye open and explore every planet almost in detail, because you have to find other bots. And that makes the game sometimes a little bit tedious, but again, I think that a lot of people will love that, will love the puzzle aspect or the searching aspect of the game. Me personally, I like to blast through my games, but that's just my personal opinion. Nevertheless, this is a fantastic game, and I would definitely recommend it if you have a PlayStation 5. So I don't know, should I talk a little bit about the power-ups? So I wrote down the power-ups here. I think there are around 8 or 9 power-ups. Maybe let's start with my least favorite. So my least favorite is probably the swimsuit, because you have to use it in a water world, and I'm not a real big fan of water worlds in any platformer. But anyway, It's still really impactful when you're swimming, and makes you just fly forward underwater, and you can just bump up into enemies and it is in order to defeat them. So that's what I have at number, I think 9 or 8, yeah. Then I have at number 7, I have the iron suit, and the iron suit actually makes you turn into a small ball of iron, so when enemies fire at you, that you just survive and nothing happens. And you can also roll over spikes without anything happening, and jump into little volcanoes. They shoot you up into other areas, but it limits your movement speed, and it also limits your jumping, so you can't jump as high anymore. So that's why I have it at number 7. Then number 6 is the mouse that makes you really small, and you can visit like smaller worlds, like into a tree or a plant, where you can discover everything and move into that tiny world on certain planets. So that's really fun to do, but quite specific. That's why I have it at number 6, but it's really fun and gives an extra dimension into your gameplay. Then I have the chicken rocket at number 5. The chicken rocket is something you put on your back as usual, but when you use it or press the R2 trigger, it just fires you up into the air, and you can just blast through things that are above you or get to areas that are a lot higher. Then at number 5, I have the balloon pufferfish, and what's that? It's like a little pump that you have in your back, and you can just pump up your enemies, or you can pump up like other inflatable stuff, or you can just inflate yourself and fly up into the air and reach areas where you otherwise could not. Then I have at number 4, I have the elephant. The elephant's also excellent. It's such a fun power up, because it allows you to suck up certain liquids, and then when you jump around, you can just create little platforms, temporary platforms underneath you, so you can just continue jumping towards higher and other platforms. Really fun. And at number 3, I have the dog rocket. The dog rocket just is almost like chicken run, but it makes you fly forward and also bump into enemies and fly through windows and other stuff. And it's really fun to use. So it's really a typical platformer power up that just makes you blast through anything that you bump into. And then number 2, my second favorite, are the fist weapons. And the fist weapons just are 2 big gloves that you have. And you can use those gloves to either pummel into enemies or to stick at certain locations, so you can just jump through. So it's really fun to use. And then at number 1, I have the time stopper. And the time stopper is actually, for me, the very best, the best power up, because it's so well made, and at a certain level you encounter enemies that are really fast, and you can use the time stopper to make them stop, and then use the stuff that they shoot out to you as platforms to jump further and get ahead into the levels. So that's probably the very best power up that I think AstroBot has. So that's my small little review of the game. Would I recommend the game? I would definitely recommend the game. I think I would give it a 8 or 9 out of 10. So like I said, the only downside I saw in this game was that you have to keep searching for the bots in order to progress. But that's a personal opinion. And I was really impressed by the demo a few years ago, and this progression of that demo in my view, and the story's view, it's also a progression, because you could keep continuing from the PlayStation 5 that you were living in. But it's such a good game. So I would definitely recommend. And if you would like to see some more reviews from me, from other games and other retro game or handhelds, then please subscribe and like this video and share it if you can. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Till next time.